Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Friday afternoon habit. We have hashtag Chakrachat. I am Teacher Sam, and joining us in a while is our guest teacher for today, who will be sharing things about her practice of teaching yoga to young children. This week's Chakra Chat is brought to you by our generous anonymous sponsors and our official media partner, Strong Radio. Thank you again for our sponsors for making our live discussions for this afternoon and our virtual classes available to a lot of our subscribers and all our yogis and yoginis around the country. And we invite our entrepreneurs out there, especially our local businesses, to help us in our cause by sponsoring our virtual classes. And this sponsorship that you'll be providing us will surely go a long way. Your resources will surely help us in our cause of bringing mindfulness to each person, one breath, one movement at a time. So, if, for example, you are not owning a business, but you wanted to help us in our cause of bringing yoga to more of our subscribers, then you are very much welcome as well. Just to give you a recap of the things that we have discussed in the previous Chakra Chat session, we had a very exciting exchange of ideas, and we talked about anything about yoga and the burning questions that you would want to ask so that you'd be able to deepen more your practice of doing yoga. But just a further recap, we started Chakra Chat in our FB Live sessions with mind setting and positivity. If you would be able to remember our speakers, we had Welmer and your other chakra yoga teachers. And we had a very exciting, as mentioned earlier, we had a very exciting session last time. We talked about anything about yoga. And in our discussion last week, we have actually slightly touched on the idea of the inclusive nature of yoga. And we said that everyone can actually do yoga, even senior citizens and even kids. So yes, kids can actually do yoga as well. For these reasons, we are going to talk about kids yoga for today. And I think that a lot of you are excited to learn more about kids yoga. So kids yoga is something that is very exciting, not just for parents, but also for teachers like me. So if you're tuning in because you're a parent or you're a teacher or you're just a yoga enthusiast, this show is truly meant for you. And please tune in until we start at 2:30. It's just 2:17 right now in my watch. So we'll just wait for a little while for the others to be able to log in and be online and tune in our uh, Facebook page of Chakra Yoga Studio. So once again, this session is brought to you by, of course, Chakra Yoga Studio. And of course, we have our sponsors who made our sessions possible, including this Chakra Chat. We have our anonymous donor and our official media partner. We have Strong Radio. Thank you very much for sponsoring this sessions and the whole schedules that we have for Chakra Yoga Studio. Just a quick reminder for later at 4:30, we will be having a live virtual class by Teacher Na. Tomorrow at 9, we have a modified Ashtanga led by Teacher XT. And of course, by Sunday, we will be having the sound healing of Teacher Echo. And next week, we have very exciting news to everyone. We will be having several other guest teachers, all yoga teachers coming from different parts of the country as well. So there are a lot of things to watch out for the events of Chakra Yoga Studio. But for those who just tuned in, our session for today, we will be talking about kids yoga. And it's very nice to talk about kids yoga from someone who has been doing kids yoga for a long time. I know that you are excited to listen to our guest yoga teacher for this afternoon, but for the meantime, we'll just wait for the others to be able to log in. So, by the way, since we are already live, you can drop in your questions and some of your comments and insights from our discussion for this afternoon. The questions, if you don't have questions, you can also share some of your insights. Perhaps you are doing yoga or might want to do yoga with children. Then just drop in these comments, these questions in the comment section below. Okay, so we have here in the comment section some notes already, but I'd be happy to listen more to those who are already tuning in. There are several of you tuning in already, so if you have questions that you have, we would gladly accommodate them. No, so again, we're just waiting for the others to be tuned in into our Facebook page, and you are also free to share this video to some of your friends, your teachers, or some of the parents that you know who are interested or who are already doing yoga. So again, we thank our anonymous sponsors. We have and our official media partner. We have Strong Radio. Thank you very much for sponsoring our online sessions. Okay, so I will be introducing now our speaker for today. Our guest for this afternoon's Chakra Chat earned a certificate from the Yoga Collective in New York, USA last 2018. She also completed her 200-hour Vinyasa Yoga Teacher Training Program. She is a member of the Yoga Alliance Certified Trainers. She aims to nurture focus and mindfulness among her students. I think that this is very important, especially in these times of pandemic, though, that we talk about how would we be able to instill focus and mindfulness among our children, our kids. No, I'm working in a school setting, and I think that focus and mindfulness is something that is challenging, perhaps for some of the parents and for some teachers as well, because I was thinking that maybe they're too exposed now with the use of gadgets and all other things that increases their screen time. So it's very interesting to know in a while how focus and mindfulness can be improved with our children, with our kids, no, through the help of yoga. She is a BS psychology graduate with over 15 years in teaching preschool children, and she considers herself a life coach to many youngsters. Friends, let us welcome this afternoon in our Chakra Chat, we have Teacher Honey. Hi, Teacher
Hi.
Honey.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Teacher Sam. Thank you for inviting me this afternoon.
How are you, Teach?
I'm actually good. I've been like coping with this whatever is happening as of this moment, no? So yeah. How about you? How are you?
I'm coping as well. It has been a very busy and hectic time for me, especially as we are preparing
Mhm.
for the opening of the school year again.
Yeah, I can just imagine how busy you are, Teacher Sam, considering that you are the principal of Xavier University Grade School. That's a lot of work, you know? So
Yeah,
yeah.
and ikaw din teach, no? Since you've been heading Star Plus, no?
Yeah,
So I
Star Plus
think
CDO.
I'm sure that there are
Mm-hmm.
also a lot of things that you are preparing for this school
Mm-hmm.
year.
Yeah, most definitely. Oo.
So teach. So let's begin our chat. How did you
Okay.
start being a yoga teacher?
Okay. So it's a very long journey. It's a long journey with yoga, no? The main reason I just would like to share first to everybody and all the viewers out there. The main reason why I wanted to teach yoga was actually in order for me to share my practice to everyone, and that I wanted to share kindness to all. It's actually this one word, this kindness word would actually make a difference. So that's basically why or how I started doing the yoga. No, I experienced doing yoga less than 5 times when I was in college. So this was way back in my 20s, and this was with teacher Will G. Now, it all started. No, it all started as part of my workout routine last 2015. So I had a lot of crazy, crazy workouts way back since I have always been very obsessed about fitness. So swimming, plyometrics, weight training, boxing, and Muay Thai. However, it came to a point when I found my routine very pointless because I became tired and wanted something that would actually quiet my mind. So my thoughts are always racing and I have always been stressed out with unimportant stuff. And I'm sure that you as a teacher also experience that, di ba?
Yes.
So I was not any more kind to myself, no? Now, when I found yoga, I became more centered and more relaxed and more kind. So the workout that I had was more meaningful and I became more appreciative with myself and my surroundings. So I noticed a lot of changes within me, not physically, but also mentally and emotionally. So I loved going to my yoga classes consistently. And I was inspired by my teachers. And I'm sure, Teacher Sam, you also know them. Si Teacher
Yes.
Juliet, Teacher Nats, Teacher Mitch, no? So it was in yoga that I found home. And I'm sure you also found home in yoga. So with this, it was a great opportunity for me last 2018 that Miss Anna Carbonell had the very first Vinyasa yoga teacher training here in Cagayan de Oro. So I knew then that it was time for me to deepen my practice. So the main reason why I joined the teacher training was more on a deeper level of self-understanding and to learn how to share this to everyone around me. So I'm very much grateful to all the teachers who inspired me. And throughout my journey as a teacher, I was also inspired by a very close friend of mine. She's also a kids yoga teacher. I don't know if you know her, Tanya Gaid, no? So
Mm,
her expertise is more on special education and also integrated. She also integrated her class with yoga. So I saw how we both had connection in terms of handling kids. So because of this, I really pushed through with studying kids and family yoga on the same year last 2018 at Rainbow Kids Yoga, New York. And I promised myself to really integrate my yoga practice into my toddler classes and to our center in Surplus CDO. So I wanted to share my how my practice has been helping me in many unexplainable ways, and I felt that sharing these things to the little ones would make a difference for their growth. There's only one and only rule, and I'm sure Teacher Sam, you can recall this when I had it in Xavier University grade school before. There's one and only rule with my kids in class, and that is kindness. So with kindness, everything follows: love, respect, obedience, and happiness. So that's how I found it. It's a very long story. So,
it's okay. It's okay.
so yeah, that's about it. Mhm.
I like how you mentioned that with kindness, everything follows. It's really
Follows.
kindness that seems to be
Mhm.
the center and the core of your
Mhm.
practice. No?
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
Each you mentioned that at the beginning it wasn't
Uh-uh.
like that you wanted to teach diretso, right?
Yes.
How did the sharing of your practice came out eventually?
I saw actually I saw the effects on myself, and then because of that I decided to really I promised myself that I would want to share this to everybody. So it's basically how I felt inside, and given with the psychology background that I had, I found it really helpful for everyone. So I hope in my way also na nakashare. Oo.
Teach, you mentioned that you went to New York for you to
For
have
the
your training for kids
for
yoga.
kids
It
yoga.
must have been so expensive. How did you cope with all the expenses that there is?
Okay. So it was actually I had a trip to the US, and na timing yun. It was actually kanang good timing because there was also a training in NYC during my trip. So I basically it was on that same year kay nag-train man ko sa Vinyasa yoga teacher training. So I said if there's gonna be kids yoga as well when I go to the States kay they actually canceled a lot of for the past years they canceled the kids yoga training in the Philippines, no? So ana ko kung ma-timing that there's one when I go there, para yun ni sa ako and it was a good timing. And expenses wise, of course I got a discount because I'm also already a member na sa katong among Vinyasa yoga. So I did my 200 hour naman first. So that's actually a plus point. So you would get discounts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Teach, Nai nag-comment just now. We have a fan. We have Teacher XT. Hello, Teacher Han.
Hello.
So Teacher XT,
Hi,
hello.
XT. Oo.
So Teacher XT
Hi.
is actually tuning in right now. Sige, Teach.
Okay.
How different is teaching yoga to
Yoga.
adults and kids?
Well, first, no, that's a very nice question. No, the thing that makes them different is first, the attention span. Okay? And second, how to give instructions. All right? So the poses and everything else are the same. All right? So rules that I start with every class that I have, whether it may be sa adult or sa kids, is still kindness. Kay it actually goes the same with both classes, adult or kids alike. So you have to observe your own feelings, your body, no? So in teaching adults, you have to be more prim and proper. So I suppose a bit like that, no? And compared to teaching kids, wherein you can just be yourself and you can just let go and there will be no judgments at all with kids. No, they're very cute. I have also observed that with adults, they are more focused on what they can actually basically mo man gyud ning pinakauna what they can achieve during their classes in terms of poses, no? The flow in adults is more structured and I guess more competitive in a way too. So it really depends on the on you as a person as an adult as well. Pero with kids, no, I am more imaginative. So you expect that your lesson plan will not exactly be done by detail. And it surely changes according to how your kids state of mind at that very moment is. So, depende na gid na siya. And then I tell stories. So, I tell stories through poses. And there is one thing that should be present in the class, and that is actually fun. Fun, fun. If the kids had fun, then the class is successful. So overall, as a yoga teacher, you really, really need to be passionate enough to survive in teaching. So not only actually in yoga, but in teaching as a whole.
Yeah.
No?
I was thinking, Teacher Honey, that there must be a lot of patience handling kids.
Yes. Oo. patience. And with if you're passionate about it, patience would follow. Okay, if you don't have the passion in teaching young ones, I don't know with patience. I don't know if you would have the patience to do it. So you have to be passionate about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Teach. We are talking about patience, no, and how to
Mm-mm.
handle kids, and how different is handling kids to that of the adult in a yoga class.
Yes.
What are the challenges that you have encountered in teaching yoga for kids, and how do you feel? How do you deal with them?
Okay, I experienced the most challenging experience ever was when I did the kids yoga Om Dago in your school in Xavier. Okay, so I'll share to you the story, no? It was a couple of times na in our Star Plus CDO's Kids Yoga on the Go. Now, we went to different schools to share our yoga journey with kids. There were always, at all times, a kid or a child or a set of kids, no? Who never want to participate at all. That's normal. Same with your classroom setting, di ba?
Yes.
So, one thing is for sure as a yoga teacher, no, never let one participant hinder you from making your class fun. So the rest of the pupils during this time, no, there were a lot of them. Almost all of them were very participative, and so what our team did. Our team Star Plus CDO is actually trained also on how we do the kids yoga in the classroom setting outside, no, like outside venue, no. So what we did was we gave that certain pupil, actually there was also a time na more than one, three sila. So what we did was we gave those pupils time to think at the side or at the corner of the room and let them release whatever they had at that very moment. Later on, majority of the pupils who were very hesitant to join ended up joining in the middle of the class towards the end. So it's just it's very challenging to really be around kids considering they have different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different cultures, no?
Yeah.
But it's a matter of how you listen. You listen to them, that they would actually get to listen to you in return. So you listen first, then they will listen to you. So again, it takes passion in order to survive teaching kids yoga and teaching kids in general.
In general. Yes, that's correct.
Oo.
I can resonate with the idea of
Mm,
the need to listen first, no? Because
mm,
kids are really experiential in a sense. They really
mm,
model how you model things to them, right?
mm.
So it's very important that you are also consistent with your rules, diba?
Yes. Without consistency nawa, you won't survive.
Yeah,
Like they will talk back to you, laugh at you. Things are kids are kids. They will always be like that. And
yeah,
adults as we are, dapat gyud ta mo sabot pud ana.
that's correct. Sige, teach. What opportunities do you see in teaching yoga for kids?
So I can see that when we teach yoga and mindfulness to kids, no, at a very early age, we would be able to develop the sense of compassion from them. No, they will become more compassionate. I have seen this actually in our center in Star Plus CDO, how kids as young as one are very much kinder to their peers. They also show each other a sense of belongingness inside the classroom, and you would see how these little young ones support each other in the class by encouraging everyone who's new to join them. So in our class setting, as young as one, you would see how independent they are in their own ways, even if there's no adults around aside from teachers, no, adults na close sa ilaha, wala gyud na siya inside the class, no. They feel safe because they were trained from the start how to be kind to everyone. So yoga is not only practiced on the mat but also outside the mat. So that's what we tell our kids. So kindness is not only practiced in classroom but everywhere. So yeah, so that when you have kids, you start them young, you'll have more compassionate people around you. So that's it. It's as simple as that, no?
Teach, how do you see that they become more compassionate, or they become more accommodating of others? Can
Accommodate.
you share some of your experiences where you have seen that after doing yoga classes?
Well, in the class, no, so I can only speak for my class in the center. So when there's someone who's not in the mood, kay considering 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, their attention span is very short. When someone is actually not in the mood, right after, like after we do kay, it's part of our daily routine ang yoga in the morning, our circle time. After that, like before yoga class, the kids around would invite that one person and one child rather nga dili wala sa mood. Pero kung dili gyud siya mo join all throughout, nobody like some kay murag masuko kay dili siya good kay dili siya, we don't have that in the class. What our kids do is, come on, join us, don't cry, it's okay, like come join us. So they're more on that. And then when someone is doesn't know how to pack away, another child would actually be teaching, so that you would witness it from our kids in the class. Oo. Because, sorry ha, because in yoga, it is always, there's always a reminder of kindness before, after, and feeling, what do you call this? Like, since we are sharing each other's feelings in during yoga time, kuan sila, like, they're more, ano, like, compassionate to their peers, more kind.
Yeah. Teach, I know I have attended one of your classes, no, when I observed some of how you did your yoga on the
Yoga.
own class. Yes.
Mm.
I would like to let the viewers see, typically what happens in a kids yoga session, because I think that mostly
Mm.
our fellow Cagayano's and the rest of our yoga community would know how a typical yoga class for adults look like. There's a teacher in
Okay.
front, and then the students will be following the teacher in front. But in a kids yoga, how exciting is it to have a typical class?
Okay. In a kids yoga setting, it is always unpredictable. No? So you would actually like do not expect too much from from your preparation, because it will always the mood of the kids will always alter whatever you prepared. So in a typical setting, it's always around, like we like kung face to face yoga, then we have around, like we are in circles, and there's always something in the middle. So whether it is a carpet or whatever cloth you have or toys in the middle, and it's the setting would shift from time to time. All right. So
Mm,
we start with a circle, we run around, we end with a circle, we lie down. So basically, uh, expect the unexpected sa setting sa classroom sa yoga. Oo.
but teach like unsa na siya, na ay songs, na ay
Oh,
stories,
yes.
or all
Um,
combined.
Okay. Well, in a kids yoga setting, it also depends on you have prepared something, either song, a story, or a game, or also kanang mag-tour mo, like you do tours inside the room according to your story at in your mind as a teacher. So kani sila tanan, you just have to be prepared as a teacher kay when the classes start, you might the first thing that's best to do is ask the kids, how are you today, where do you want to go today, then you start from there. What do you want to do today, where do you want to go today, you create a story, and then you start with songs, and then do your story at the same time, and then it musakay gyud tanang bata with stories. So that's how it is. Oo.
Yeah. And then,
Mm-mm.
Tish, how do you incorporate the yoga poses in the stories or in the songs that
Okay.
you have at that time?
All right. Well, do you know that even kids can create their yoga pose? So that's how we do it. So it's like a two-way. The teacher would somehow um, imagine a pose or whatsoever nga naa sa utok sa teacher, and then you let the kids do as well. You know, everything would follow. Kay free flowing kaayo ang classes with kids. They have very nice imaginations, and they could create something from that. So as a teacher, dili pwede that you would stick into your lesson plan, and then murag malain ka kung wala nimo nabuhat. No, you have to be very like free flowing, no? Oh,
So,
so
dili pwedeng if you have a plan already, that's it. It's really
yeah,
unpredictable.
no. No, it's never it's with kids, it's never planned at all times sa kids. Nakay plan sa imuha, but you have to accept na ma-alter gid imong plan. Just like how teachers do it inside the classroom. That's why dili lalim ma teacher, no? So
Yeah,
kuan
yeah,
the lesson plan is there, but it can turn into something else. So it's nice to start with kids. Like
yeah.
ask them, listen to them, then everything follows.
Sige, Teach. Before we proceed with some of the questions that we have
Okay.
prepared, let's try to view our comment section and check
Okay.
if there are questions that you might want to be able to answer as well. So, by the way, Teacher XT is really following through in the comments, and he liked how you use kindness as the core of your
Mm-mm.
practice as a kids yoga teacher. Um, Teacher XT is also asking, when is the best time for kids to learn yoga?
All right. That's a very good question, XT, no? Uh, First and foremost, we have to be aware that yoga is already natural with babies. So you would see how babies are doing their poses. Like in adults, we do the happy baby pose. No, in adults we do a lot. We do shoulder stand and the like. In kids, as young as babies, actually they do that. No, so yoga is natural. Therefore, no age na kanabitang in particular nga mo start with sila kay even babies, it's already a way of mura na siya ilahan ng nature na yoga poses gyud na ilang ginabuhat permanente. So as young as 10 months or even yeah.
But in your experience, Teach, what
Okay.
was the youngest that you have handled?
One. So
One.
I've experienced one. Yeah, in our
And,
class.
and how
Oo,
was the
it's
experience, Teach?
well, it's always running around with 1 year old, na mga pupils, no? But then there's 2 years old and 3 years old who would help you out. So if you're in a if you're in a class na naay ka ng older, matabangan jud ka. So you have to have a lot of energy before the class starts. So kana siya. It's always it's like a roller coaster inside the classroom actually.
Yeah,
Oo.
yeah. Teach, I have here a question again from Teacher XT. Best and worst experiences, if there
With
are any, with
kids.
kids during a yoga class.
Well, the one that I shared earlier, no, sa katong when I had the kids yoga on the go. The worst part there was di gyud ganahan mo join ang bata, but in the end na napastorya gid naka-join gid siya kay na ibog siya sa uban bata. Now the best is it's always best every time I do my yoga class with the kids. Kay it's mura siya walay favor sa ako murag ganahan jud ko ganahan kayo ko when I'm around kids, no? So sa mga experiences that I had, lahi-lahi gyud ang kuan, lahi-lahi gyud ang mugawas, depende gyud kung kinsa ang mga bata involved. So
Yeah.
I like the kana bitang unpredictability of it. So it's kind of kuan challenging. Oo.
Sige, Teach. This one is a question from Teddy Rosman. Hi, Teacher
Mm-hmm.
Honey. How can an inexperienced parent encourage their child to
Relationship.
practice at home? Example, 5 to 6 years old. And then, do you have recommendations for an inexperienced parent to participate with a home practice? Maybe regarding format, time length of the session, games or songs to make, etc.
Okay. All right. So first and foremost, you have to make the class if you are in your household with your kids, you have to make it fun. Ang pinakauna is maybe watch kids yoga classes in YouTube, and you would see how the teacher do it. So there's a certain pattern, no? It's actually similar to how we do it in adults, no? Ang pattern, we start with warming up, and
Yes.
then the class, and then cooling down with resting pose. So
Yes.
in the yoga class as well, that's how we do it. So we start with warming up your kids, asking them how they are, what they wanted to do, and then incorporate songs. So it's really best to check out classes sa YouTube, or if you would also want to give it a try sa ako ang class in how I do my kids yoga online, you may also join us sa Star Plus CDO kung ganahan ka nga makita nimo ang whole pattern. With regards to time length, by the way, uh, 30 minutes is actually very long na sa yoga sa kaning mga age bracket of what you have, like 5 and 6. No? And so you can just imagine how it is for the really younger ones. So 30 minutes to 40, that's enough for them sa ilahang age bracket. Mm-mm.
Teach,
So yeah.
I've been seeing some prompts in my Facebook timeline on
Yeah.
a kids yoga certification online class. Would you recommend such
Oh,
certification courses?
okay. Uh, of course, ang learning gavary siya, no? Gavary siya according to you as a person. If you're okay with online, like, kay online is just like you guys are still talking parehas sa live na class nimo, na actual class. Ang kulang lang yun, what I can say, na akong experience with katug yung sa physical gyud nga class, no, with my experience, it is really different when there is a sense of touch
Mhm.
around you. So that's what makes it different, like the connection. And I know for sure sa imuha sa teacher Sam, lahi gyud if you are in a classroom nga nag-yoga ka nga naagyoy, like there's connection through touch, through gazing sa inyong
Yes.
eyes, no? Lahi ang connection. Pero I would like there's no good or bad. Kuan siya, naagid siya sa tao kung asa siya
Yes.
comfortable, no?
Yes.
And in this pandemic times, murag ang ma-recommend
It's
gyud
good.
to online man gyud. Oo. Mm-mm.
Sige, we have another question, Teach. Shouldn't parents be in a yoga class with their kids, especially at the age and in their initial stage?
Yes, the parents should be there. Ani siya, that's why in my classes actually I have this Mama Stay Yoga for ages 10 months to 2 years old. That span of age na bracket, it is better to have the parents around yun. So it's a mom and child, or a dad and child nga yoga ana nga time. However, if you're the type of teacher nga murag naa na gyud kay experience in the preschool setting, ang kanang ages 3 and up, no need na gyud siya nga naa gyud ang parents at all times, no? Pero it is also okay, but it's better to have na katug yung mga kids ang naa kung live, I mean actual nga class. Kana bitong physical class, oo, kung naa sila. So, much better sa 3 and up na kamo lang with the teacher and the other assistants maybe. Oo.
Teach, di ba you have projects in Star Plus CDO where you have like a family yoga thing.
Yes.
How was it an easy thing to organize considering, di ba, parents would have kind activities of their own or
Mm.
work even in a weekend. How did
Yeah.
you go about all
Okay.
this?
Well, the family yoga that we had in the center was actually an event that we had before. So it was Namaste on the beach that we have the family yoga, wherein the parents experience to do yoga with their kids. So kato siya, it was intended nga naa gito nga activity. So ang parents napud sila, it's a family day, and that's when we did it. Now, with regards to how will the family do it kung naay kana bitong together gyud nga any time of the week. Well, since I haven't scheduled anything like that ever, so I wouldn't really know as of this moment. But I'm sure it would work out well when it is on a weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Teacher Exie has a suggestion. Mamaste, a branding
Yeah.
of your event in the future.
Yes. The Mama Stay is actually we're using it already as part of our course in Star Plus CDO, the Mama Stay yoga class for 10 months to 2 years old. Yeah, it's a very good branding. Oo, ang
Yeah.
Mama Stay. Mama Stay. Yeah.
Pwede siya ibaligyan for a Mother's Day activity or so.
Yeah, yes. No,
Yeah.
oo, exactly. Mm-mm.
Okay, from Teacher Exie again, are there any difference when it comes to teaching yoga to boys and girls?
Yes,
Do
there
you prefer a
is.
mix or do you prefer na boys lang sa and then girls tayo?
Well, for me, no, kay I like it mixed yun. Kay, I always encourage the class magod nga wala gyoy, there's no kanang gender nga kanilang ang boys lang mubuhat or kanilang ang girls lang mubuhat. Kay in our class, in the kids yoga class, when you ask the boys to do actions, kay ang class magod is sagol, no? When the boys would do actions nga buhaton sa girls, ang girls po magbuhat sa silang action nga buhaton sa boys, and it's actually very fun when they're mixed. Kay makita nimo ang different, you would see the different personalities of the different genders in class. So it's very exciting to see them all together. So no particular nga dapat boys lang yun boys. Unless maybe kung kuan yun, like if you are the type of parent who's actually very sensitive na i-mix nimo
All
imong anak.
right.
I-mix nimo imong anak with the boys or so.
Especially if
I
there are some religious and traditional
uh,
beliefs.
kana siya exactly. Oo, kana. Yeah,
Teach,
kay
another
there's
question. Based
yes.
from Teacher XT again. I think kids yoga teacher na gid ni siya. Why
Lagi.
do
Why
why do
not, di
kids
ba?
need yoga as a form of physical activity when I can sign them up for sports like soccer, dance, or swimming to expand their energy? What
Well,
is
one
the
thing,
best come in?
unsa what was
Unsa ang best come in nga nganong
nganong
ipa-enroll man ako
yoga.
sa kids yoga o sa kabata?
All right. Yoga actually complements all sports. No? Mo complement yun si yoga. Why? Kay with yoga, you would be able to do yoga stretches and exercises are actually present in most sports. That's why ang among kids no in the center, every time they do yoga with us, they're actually soccer players. Some of them are taekwondo or karate. They are doing taekwondo or karate do. Some are ballerinas or gymnasts. The kids would actually appreciate it in a way now. They would say, "Oh, I did this. I did this in karate. You know what, teacher? This is what we did in soccer." So because kani si yoga mo complement siya sa tanan nga sports kay tungod the things that we do in yoga is basically you would see it in all forms sa tanan sports. So, tsada nga i-mix ninyo siya because at the end of the yoga class, there's always this mindfulness at the end wherein they do the shavasana just like adults do, no? Like how adults do. That's the time for them to really feel it within their body, how they feel within the class na kuan. And then kana diha. So diha nila ma-appreciate towards the end na you know this, I did this also in this and that. No,
Yeah.
it's everything complements. Mm-mm.
I think that coming from you who has tried a lot of intense sports and
Work.
exercise will understand the complementariness of yoga with other sports, right, Teach?
Yes, you are very correct. And you know one thing na katong what I've mentioned earlier, I because I got, di ba ingon ko nga, I got tired, I found it pointless. That's because it's more on the mind already. That's ano like I have a lot of racing thoughts or like the thoughts won't stop. So murag si yoga gyud ang nag-bring sa ako kumbaga sa silence, mindfulness, and more on focusing on my inner work siya, no, in a way. And I
I
I think it's also based on my experience with kids, kay it follows also sa ila. Because at the end of their class, when I ask them how they feel, most of them would say, "I feel relaxed, I feel nice, I feel good, I feel sad." Ang sauban, I feel sad kay they realize something all throughout the class. So that itself, I think it's somehow kuan siya kanang nindot yun siya sa bata.
so they become more aware of how they feel. No?
Awareness,
Oh.
awareness
For
of
a very
oneself.
young age, I think that's a very good milestone, no, for them to be
Mm-mm.
aware of how they actually feel. And you know what, each we know some of the athletic groups actually have yoga as part integrated in their training program, no?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
especially
very ano.
especially karon teach nga the focus is really on mindfulness and not just physical activity, di ba?
True. Oo, tinood. Yeah.
Sige. So let's proceed, teach, no? How do you suggest kids yoga? Since I think that we have also teachers watching us
Right
for
now,
today. Oo. How do you suggest kids yoga to be incorporated in
incorporated.
school setting?
All right. So first, no, kana I would like to share na we at Star Plus CDO have been incorporating yoga in our classes already with our toddlers in our total development program. It's actually for ages 1 to 4 and also academic tutorial pupils for kindergarten and up. Um, our teachers as well do yoga with me as part of their weekly routine before handling classes. So with the practice that I have shared to everyone sa center, I have greatly seen the positive effects to our center's community. Everyone is actually more mindful and everyone are more kind to each other. So evidently, the kids have been more focused and their concentration towards academic work have greatly improved, no, and also their relationship with their peers have improved as well kay the practice man sila like more kind man sila because in yoga there's a lot of kanang you feel your friend, no, like how give your friend a massage, no, that's how we do it in kids yoga. So with that they're more compassionate with each other's feelings. The teachers, on the other hand, no, have been more compassionate towards their work, and moreover, stressors don't easily overwhelm them anymore. So I've seen the positive effects of yoga and its contribution to our community sa Star Plus nga small community me. So might as well share it to all, especially in the school setting. So it's really nice to have it in a big setting like sa schools yun, like instead of punishing kids, why not let them go to a yoga class instead,
Yeah.
no, so like things like that. So
And I think
yes.
that there are a lot of articles already that says instead of detention or other
Oo.
things, so yoga can help them understand better how can they become better after doing a
Mm-mm.
certain thing, a bad thing, no, in school.
Mm-mm. Tinuot yun. And if you've noticed as a practitioner, Teacher Sam, di ba when you do your yoga practice kanang, and you focus on how your body reacts to certain poses, it you are more mindful,
Yes,
di ba?
yes.
You're more, so basically that's the same with the kids. They're
Mm.
more mindful by then kung magkuhan sa sila. Like when they do the yoga poses, no? The class. Yeah.
Sige, Teach, I think that there are no more other questions, no? So I'll give you
Okay.
some time, Teach, that maybe you might want to invite our subscribers and viewers right now for some of your work that you do for Kids Yoga and for Star Plus CDO.
Okay. So thank you for that, Teacher Sam. Well, I am inviting everyone, those of you, the parents who's actually interested in doing kids yoga at home, you may give our kids yoga a try. So we actually we posted it in Star Plus CDO, how the classes would go. So it's basically like when you join us, it's just a pay what you want. So we believe that it is the price is actually it's priceless, no, it's something that you do not put on sa mga tao, so it's according to how you feel like giving sa inyo, ha, and then give it a try, and then maybe later on kung makita na ninyo how it goes within the class, then you can also do it at home with your kids, no, so yeah, so I'm inviting you to like and share also our Facebook page, Star Plus CDEO. So yeah, that's it. And of course, aside from that, no, for parents also to join yoga classes in Chakra Studio, online studio. Please join us also in Chakra. Kay naa po dito tanan adult classes like how Sir Sam is also teaching, and XT and the rest of the team in
Yeah.
Chakra. Mm-mm.
Teach, you've been doing a lot of good things, no, for our kids, and it's something very applaudable. Though I remember that when you were giving your yoga class in our school, I remembered I have a pagumangkon manggod who attended your
Class.
class, and then she was really very excited, and she was even trying to mimic some of the poses, no, that you taught her. And so for the parents out there who wanted to do something productive and meaningful, especially during these times in the pandemic, you might want to check the very innovative and creative classes of Teacher Honey at Star Plus CDO. You really your kids will really have a fantastic time in their classes. So teach. By the way, I also remembered
Yes.
Teacher Honey has been my classmate in our usual yoga class.
Yes!
And then the
Oo. That
next
was,
time,
I think, 4 years ago, no?
yeah,
Classmate
yeah.
ka? Oo.
And then eventually, natingala na lang mi ni June nga my wife, no,
Nag-teach na.
teacher na siya. I think it was your first class, no? Sakto ba?
Yes, it was. It was actually when I thought you were one of the first students that was able to join my class. Kay kuan to siya,
Yeah.
it was our practice teaching. So wala gyud mahay that I did my teacher training with yoga, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So thank you very much, Teacher Honey. And like how we end all our classes, we greet each other. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Thank you
Yes.
very
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you also so much, Teacher Sam, and to Chakra Studio. And I hope that we will all see each other physically soon. No?
Yes,
So
puhon
I'm looking
puhon.
forward. Pohon, pohon. So goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.